No way, Chris, look at that one. That is a little jalapeno that we grew from a seed. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Chris, yeah, look right there. Yeah, that's our green striped squash. That is so exciting.
Cool.
That's so cool. Look at this.
Those plants are huge.
Oh.
How are you gonna even find anything in there?
Oh my goodness. It looks like these plants are full of nice, beautiful green beans. Look at that. Y'all, my name is Emily Ann, and this is Chris.
Hey y'all.
And we are Sasser House, and today we are here in the garden, and we are so excited. We have been out of town for a couple of days, and we got back, and the garden looks like it is thriving.
It looks huge.
I think we're gonna get our first harvest. And so we have our baskets. We don't know, we've only seen one plant. And then we freaked out and went and got our baskets because we think that this is going to be our first harvest day. So let's get in there and see what we got. The crazy thing about gardening is you plant these little seeds, all of these, this whole row of plants, and way back there, you can't see the pumpkins yet, but this whole row of plants was started just as seeds. You plant these little seeds and these little plants come up, and it just feels like in the moment that it's taken forever to get anywhere. And then when we left, just maybe 4 or 5 days ago, there were no zucchinis on these plants. And now there's zucchinis all over these plants. And that's the cool thing about gardening. It's just like things can change so quickly. This is a really big one in here. I'm still learning how to harvest my zucchinis. You don't want to get them really big, but you want that little top piece because then you have to use it immediately because that's gonna make the plant dry out. But so far, we have 3 zucchinis and we're just on our 3rd plant. So Chris and I live a crazy busy schedule. And we have been gone and we're about to be gone again. That's why we wanted to go ahead and get out here and start harvesting what we could, just because we won't be home again for, what day's today? At least 3 more days. And so we wanted to get out here and see where the garden was at. But y'all saw in one of our previous videos our fight with the weeds. And as you can see, they are coming back in full force. Right here, we've got a ton of weeds, well, all over the garden. So we've got a lot of work to do when we get home, trying to get this garden weeded again. But look at this.
Why is this plant growing that way?
I know. I don't know what this is. This is a different type of squash. I don't think this is a pumpkin because we didn't start our pumpkins until way down there. So this is either our green striped squash or our butternut. So butternut squash may grow like this. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna, oh my gosh, Chris, yeah, look right there. Yeah, that's our green striped squash. I've never grown these before, but they're beautiful. And supposedly they're really, really good flavor. That is so exciting. Cool. That's so cool. I'm going to gingerly train this to go in our row. This right here, this little pitiful dead thing, I mean, maybe it would grow if I left it and really nurtured it, because these 2 leaves are alive right here. But this is one that we tried to transplant when we were pulling the weeds, and it just hasn't taken. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull that weed on down here too. And we'll start training this guy to grow this way. And then down here, this must be either a pumpkin or a butternut squash, but I think all of our pumpkins start by now. Look at this.
Those plants are huge.
Oh.
How are you gonna even find anything in there?
My goodness. Oh my goodness. And I also learned that I planted my pumpkins way too early. Wow. This is incredible. We're gonna have pumpkins pretty stinking early. I'm gonna walk around this way.
Those are huge.
But these plants are monstrous. This makes me rethink how we want to garden next year, baby. We might want to do like a whole corner patch of these, you know, instead of doing them at the end of our normal rows.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you they'll get bigger than this. I mean, the flowers, they're just putting on flowers. They haven't even put on fruit yet. Now down here, we do have some pumpkins that are putting on fruit. And these are our little baby white pumpkins. You don't eat these, but these are so cute to decorate with. As you can see right there, we have one. That one's probably almost mature and ready to be harvested. Look over there, baby, there's another one.
There's more here.
These are probably already mature and about ready to be harvested, but we're not ready yet. So I think I'm gonna leave them on. I don't want them to rot or anything. This is just my first year growing any type of pumpkin, so I don't really know what to expect. I think I'm gonna have to train this little vine. Oh shoot. Oh yeah, it's already wrapped itself around my zinnia plant. Let's see. That is crazy. These things have a mind of their own, I guess.
These weeds are horrible.
Yeah, our weeds are awful. We're gonna have to work on those, but we haven't been home, so it is what it is. Maybe I can just turn it that way. But we've got to get out here and pull those weeds because these plants are just grabbing onto the weeds. Here are my zinnias that I planted and my sunflowers on this row. These sunflowers have grown a ton, and I'm really encouraged to see them grow because I knew they were supposed to get big, but I felt like they were so small for so long. Now I do know these zinnia plants are supposed to be pinched, but I need to look and make sure I know where to pinch them. You're supposed to pinch them at like the first set of leaves or something, and that helps them send off more branches so that you can get like 12 flowers instead of 4 flowers. So I need to pinch those, but we'll do that maybe this afternoon. I've got to look it up. I don't want to do the wrong thing. I think those are zinnias down there. Those are just growing haphazardly. And then we might have to do a little help to this sunflower. Look at our corn weed patch. How's that look? Whew. We never weeded that. We just got a little bit discouraged and kind of told it good luck. Okay, this little sunflower needs some support. So I'm gonna come in here, just get it standing upright again. All these look good. Definitely need to spend a couple hours out here pulling weeds, and we need to till again as much as we can. Over there where the pumpkins are, I think we're already done tilling for the season. Now over here, we have got our watermelon or cantaloupe. I didn't label them, but those are growing out pretty good. This right here is our cucumber, which I know is supposed to be trellised, and I haven't done that yet because I don't have anything to trellis it with. I kind of planted it without a plan, which I don't recommend, and now I've got to figure something out. But these plants are doing really good. Chris, don't step on that one. Wow, Chris, look at this. Look at how big. This is either watermelon or cantaloupe, and it is thriving. It's huge. We have a couple patches of these, and that one is definitely doing the best. We have all kinds of fruit on our tomatoes, which is really exciting, but I don't see any that looks ready for harvest. Wow, those look so good. And our okra is doing really good. Our okra has been very slow to grow, but that is looking very promising. I really want to sow a couple more okra seeds in this row. Oh, no way, looky there. That's awesome. I want to sow a couple more okra seeds in this row. I'll probably do that next week, just so that we have plenty of okra crop to harvest. Our tomatoes are looking incredible, and I am so thankful. These have a ton of fruit on them. I mean, if you look through each of the plants, it's pretty incredible how much fruit is growing on these tomato plants. And it's looking pretty good, but they are still not even green. These almost look white. So they are definitely not ready. But as you go down the line, I mean, this one right here has so much fruit on it, which is really exciting. This is one of our marigold plants that we planted from seed, and it is taking over. It is doing really, really good. There's no blooms on it, so hopefully it'll get some blooms, but some of our marigolds have some blooms, which is good. Hopefully that's bringing in pollinators. But our tomatoes all look really good for the most part. Still blows my mind we were able to start these from seed, but it doesn't look like we've got anything ready for our harvest baskets on this row quite yet. Okay, I'm really excited about this. I saw this morning and freaked out because we have a little jalapeno pepper right here on this plant, and I'm gonna harvest it. It feels good. That is a little jalapeno that we grew from a seed in our house, y'all. There's another one on the plant that's still growing, but I was looking at these before we left and I thought, oh, I bet these won't give us anything because we started them from indoors. I was all in the dumps about it. There's fruit all over these. And so I am so excited that we're gonna get a harvest of jalapeno peppers. But I bet we probably have more peppers to harvest if we go down this row. No way. Oh no, some of these have fallen off. You think they're still okay?
Yeah, I'd take that.
Okay, so this fell off the plant. These are our Santa Fe Grande peppers. I'm gonna go ahead and harvest these. And we've gotta come through here and stand these up. They're falling over. I don't know if we had a bad storm or what, but those definitely need to be pushed up. Let's see. I think there's some more on there. There's some little baby ones. I wonder if that one's ready to harvest or if we should leave it. We may leave that one on just a couple more days. No way, Chris, look at that one.
There's a lot of stuff on this one.
We're in over our heads a little bit with a garden this big because we don't have a whole lot of time we spend at home. We travel a lot for work, and as you can see, a garden takes a ton of maintenance. I mean, we could spend hours out here today pulling weeds and even just setting up these plants that have gotten weak and fallen over. And that's stuff that just takes everyday maintenance to come out here and do. And so Chris and I are trying to stay on it as best we can while also traveling quite a bit. Oh yeah, all of these have fallen over. Like that one's roots are totally exposed. I wonder if something's come in here and almost stepped on it. That's kind of crazy looking. Unless we had really bad winds, I don't really know what to think, but I definitely want to try and get this. I'm gonna go ahead and harvest that, but I've got to get this upright. But the leaves are all hunched over because it's been laying on the ground. So hopefully, if we get this good and secure, that stem will straighten back out. But let's look at this guy right here. It is doing really well. Wow. Now, these are ones that we grew from seed in the house as well. I'm gonna harvest this little guy. I hear lots of little bees buzzing around our garden, which usually I'm annoyed by them, but right now I am thankful because they are pollinating our plants. Looky there. These things are gonna need a good wash.
Taste a bite.
Not while it's covered in dirt, but thank you. There are a ton of little peppers on this plant, and there's all types of little buds starting too, so this is gonna be a very productive plant for us this season, I think. These right here, I think, are our habanero peppers. And it looks like we've got a couple on here, but those are supposed to get orange, right, Chris?
Oh, I don't know.
I think I've always seen a habanero pepper being an orange pepper. We'll have to Google that, but I don't think we need to get any of those, but there's definitely fruit on those, which is exciting.
Another jalapeno plant?
This is not a jalapeno plant. It kind of looks like a jalapeno plant.
Yeah, what is that?
I have no clue what it is. I didn't label it. It might be one of our serrano pepper plants. I'm not sure. We've got another one leaning and another one leaning. I don't know what happened in here. Oh, baby, look at this. Now, what are these?
What'd you plant?
Well, I know we planted serrano
Dirt on the other side
peppers.
of it.
I will. I'm gonna pinch off some of these leaves that are way down here at the bottom since we're burying it a little bit deeper. But we have got a ton of these little thin peppers on here. I mean, those are probably ready to harvest, but I don't know what they are. So before we harvest them, let's look back in our file. I mean, unless you think those are, I think those are probably ready.
Let's look it up.
All right, so Chris did some research and turns out these are cayenne peppers. It's all coming back to me now. I promise I'm gonna get better next year about labeling what we plant. So cayennes need to turn red. So we have a ton of green peppers on all of these plants, but they need to turn red. So unfortunately we cannot harvest them yet, but it's still exciting to see the peppers on the plants. Our last row is ready to harvest, and I'm so excited to get to harvest our favorite vegetable, our green beans. So it looks like these plants are full of nice, beautiful green beans. Look at that. I have been a little bit nervous about my green beans this year too, because I just feel like the plants aren't that big and they kind of fall over, and I just haven't been hopeful that we're gonna get a massive harvest, but these are beautiful, firm, perfect green beans. If y'all are watching this and you have grown bush beans, these are not like the Trellising pole varieties, but these are just the bush growing varieties. Is it okay that all of mine are growing sideways and like laying in the dirt? Or is that something that I should be concerned about and do something different for next year? Just because they're all growing cattywampus, and I've tried to come through and stand them up, but I can't get them to stand up.
I think it's probably fine. You're getting a ton, and it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with the plants themselves. Yeah. Now, show me how to know if they're ready to harvest.
So what you're looking for is a nice, feel that, firm,
okay, long
green bean. I mean, feel this one. This one's not as firm, but I still harvested it.
Okay, yeah.
But what you're really looking for is a firm, long green bean. Yeah, some of them that I've gone through don't feel quite ready yet. So I'm just leaving them, and we'll come back for them later. Wow. It amazes me every year. I know that like gardening is nothing new, but it's kind of new to me, and it amazes me every year that we put these little seeds in the dirt, and then all of a sudden we've got a big old harvest of food to eat.
I think it's so cool.
There are little pollinators all over that. I mean, these could be ready down here, but I think I'm gonna let these grow a couple more days and see how big they get, just as an experiment.
Yeah, I feel like these should be left too.
But look how full this one is.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a pretty good harvest for our first harvest, which is really exciting. These onion tops right here are doing really well, and some of them are going to flower, which I think I need to cut that off. I'm not really sure. I've got to look that up. But I do know that we can cut our onion tops and make onion top pesto, and I want to do that so bad. So that is definitely coming in the next video. But I don't know how long the onion tops stay good. I want to make that as fresh as possible, and we are going out of town today. So that's probably a project for when we get back home. But another thing that we need to check on that we haven't been able to check on because we've been gone is our chickens. So let's go give them a look. I've got mud on my face. Did you not Were you not going to tell me that I had mud on my face?
I didn't see it.
This is why you should wear gloves in the garden. Okay, Chris, tell them about the coop.
So I finished the chicken coop finally right before we went out of town. And so I'm gonna check on them and see if they're all alive and if they like their new home.
Oh no, the deer have already gotten our landscaping that we planted.
Where?
There was a potato vine there. This potato vine there has been chopped.
Yeah,
this monkey grass has been chopped. This monkey grass has been chopped. And the other potato vine's gone.
Yeah, they really just, but monkey grass is a little bit, but mainly just the...
Yeah, the potato vine's gone.
But I think the deer are not supposed to like sage, so I think that's why we got that.
Look at this. I think they've chomped that bush. Oh, gosh.
Maybe. Yeah,
you
maybe.
can't have nothing nice out in the country.
Well, I count 7, so they're all still alive.
They look so big. They're doing so good.
I'm out, but I need to go.
No, you don't need to let
I need to
them
get
out.
them some food and water, though. Watch out. So they've got a little bit of water still. Out of my hand. No, they won't. Okay, well.
We got to get them some toys in here.
Yeah, start feeding them some treats out of the garden.
I know. Let's take a look at their house and see if they've dirtied it up.
Inside.
Yeah. So they have definitely used their home, but let's see. Looks like they... No way. No way.
No, it's the ceramic egg.
Oh my gosh, you're a jerk.
I thought you knew we got those.
You're a jerk. I was so excited. I thought that was our first egg. It doesn't look like they've dirtied up their nesting boxes.
No, I think they're sleeping on the roosting bars, obviously where they're supposed to, and I need to get in here and clean that out. But I'm supposed to be able to set a 5-gallon bucket right here and then be able to just slowly scoop the poop straight into the bucket and then toss that out.
Really, this bottom part has stayed pretty clean for the most part, especially when you compare it to this up here.
Yeah, they're coming in and then getting up to the roosting bars.
Look at them.
So it's working.
Do y'all want to come hang out with us or what?
They do. I think they want to come outside, but we don't have time today. I still need to touch up some of the paint back here.
So this is where we'll get our eggs. So there's some feathers in there, but there's no doo-doo.
Yeah.
Oh, our chickens are doing so good. I was afraid we would come home and these little nesting boxes would be filled with their poop. But I was excited to get green beans and zucchini out of that garden. Just wait till we come out here and I'm getting an egg out of the coop. That's gonna make my whole world. Okay, so I have to leave for work in about an hour and we are going out on the road. So I am headed into town this morning to write, and then we leave at 2 to go out on the road. I'm headed to the coast of North Carolina to sing this weekend. And so I'm not going to be here, and I don't want our harvest to be wasted. So one thing I love to do with zucchini is, of course, cut it up and saute it or roast it. That's my favorite way to eat it. But Chris loves zucchini and zucchini bread. And I do too. Who doesn't love zucchini bread? So I'm going to get these washed up really well. And I think what I'm going to do is grate these real quick with my grater. And that way I can put all the grated zucchini into the freezer. And then when I get home, if I want to make some zucchini bread, I can, or I can save it in the freezer and use it for something else. But that way, at least I know our harvest won't go to waste while we're gone. This one was probably a little too little to harvest, but I couldn't help myself. You have to watch your zucchini that you're growing because they will take off and get massive really quick. And you don't want them to get super huge because then they're not as good for like roasting. They get a ton of seeds, really, really big seeds in them. And so I always like to try and keep my eye on them and harvest them while they're young so that we can use them in all different types of cooking instead of just zucchini bread. I've found that when you harvest them really, really late, pretty much the only thing you can do with them is zucchini bread. I'm gonna get a little colander out for our green beans. So I think that's gonna be the easiest way to give those a good wash. That's a pretty good first harvest of green beans. I'm proud of that. I almost don't even want to speak it because last year we had them so bad, but I had little, I forget what they were called. It was some type of little like squash bug type bug. And they ate a bunch of my green beans, and I can see on some of these a little bit of damage from maybe a bug like that. So I need to get out there with my, I have this stuff, I think, is it called 7? That I got last year. It's all natural and it keeps those bugs away. I think these are still a little dirty. Okay, I've been thinking about it, and I've decided that since my sister and my brother-in-law and their little babies came and helped us start this garden, plant our seeds and get everything in the ground that first day that we planted, I wanted to give them our first harvest. They're going to be home this weekend, and I think that they will enjoy it so much, and it'll make my heart so happy to be able to share it with them. So I have a little basket that, I don't even know if you can call this a basket. It's kind of like a little bowl. I think it is a bowl. It's by the Pampered Chef, and I don't know what I had this for or what I used it for or what, but it's been in the closet, and I needed something small, so I'm going to put some parchment paper in here and try to make them a little harvest basket. So I'm going to put some parchment paper in here, and I have some jalapeno pepper jelly that we canned up last year, and me and Chris are never going to go through all this pepper jelly. I think my sister will enjoy it, so I'm going to throw that in there. Maybe I'll just put that in the center. I'm going to make sure all of our produce is dried off. Put those in there. I am so excited for them to try these Santa Fe Grande peppers. I really want to cut one of these open and taste them because I have no clue what these are going to taste like. They smell so good. But I don't know if they're going to be super hot or if they're going to be more mild. So I'm really excited to get to try these, and I can't wait to hear what my sister thinks about them. Let's see, we'll put some of those over there. And then we'll put these maybe on top of our green beans so that they're seen. It's not the most colorful harvest basket, but it's just our first little crop from the garden. This is a wonderful harvest of green beans. I think that they'll really enjoy these. Then we'll kind of place our peppers in here. Maybe like that. And there's a little harvest basket. It's really green, but at least it's something. And I think my sister will really enjoy it. One day I'd love to do harvest baskets that have flowers in here too from the garden. And we might be there this season. We're just not there quite yet. I just remembered one thing I can add in there as well are a couple sprigs of thyme. I planted this thyme last year and I put it in a pot and it survived the winter and came right back. And I have not harvested any of it yet. Here's what it looks like. It looks pretty good. I haven't done anything to it. I haven't even watered it, which I'm ashamed to say. But I'm gonna get a couple sprigs of this off and we can throw that in there too. Here's our little harvest of some fresh thyme, and I can't wait to put that in the basket.
All right, so Emily is inside getting ready to leave. She is about to take this harvest basket over to her sister Abby and give it to her. And we were so excited this morning to come out to the garden for the first time after being out of town and finding that we got to make our first harvest. This was so much fun. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys are interested in more of this garden type content, make sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we post our next video, and we will see you guys on the next one. Bye, y'all.